Well, it's been over a year since I made my switch from Mac to Windows, and it's time to take stock. Am I happy? Absolutely. I learned a lot about myself, and I learned that what I thought I was less of a reality. And we'll get to the ketchup and nail clippers in a minute. As a Mac user, I always thought of myself as progressive, more in touch with reality, and, adaptable. And I was actually the opposite. I found that I was in such a restricted microcosm of understanding that I was not adaptable. And I wanted to become more adaptable. So the way that I think about things like this, big changes, big scary changes, is, has anyone else done it? And it's too easy to not think about outside of certain things. So here's a perfect example. Guns, guns, guns in the US, and people that believe that you should have guns rarely think outside of the United States and to places like Europe. And do they have guns? They have guns, they have less crime, and they have less deaths. So thinking outside of your little microcosm. So as a Mac user, are people using Windows? And too many times for many, many years, I just thought of, the typical office user stuck with Windows XP and laughing at them that they were missing the boat, so to speak. But let's look at the successful Windows users, power users, 3D artists, visual effects artists, compositors, people that have been using Windows computers and Windows-based, PCs running Linux. I mean, they're running anything but Mac. Are they productive? Abso-freaking-lutely. Movies that we sit and watch were done by these great artists. Are they just as valued as power users as a Mac user was? Yes, absolutely. It's not that no one could do anything as powerful as you on the Mac. So that was one thing. Do I understand that? Now I completely understand that. So people are incredibly productive on that. And I made some other big changes, like, and follow me along here. I know this is crazy and this is a stretch, but there's some real truth to this. I grew up on this stuff. Ever since I was a kid, this was my elixir. And I didn't even like the taste of many foods like, mac and cheese, which we call Kraft Dinner here at Mac Refugee, and French fries, hot dogs, hamburgers. You couldn't have them without ketchup. Lots of ketchup dripping on top of it. Well, this was one of the biggest and hardest changes to get rid of this. And in anything that you're changing from, to just remove something out of there is too difficult. So how about replacing it with Cholula? Now, you're not going to put the same amount of Cholula hot sauce as you would ketchup, but there's that same kind of tang and twang that you can have with food. And also I've added working with spices. So I don't just have French fries with ketchup, I have them with Cholula and a little bit of garlic salt and vinegar, and all of a sudden now I've got a completely new flavor that I wasn't relying on with ketchup. Okay, so that's one thing. Do I miss ketchup? Not at all. And if you would have asked my 8-year-old self, could you live without ketchup? I'd say, no, you're nuts. I ain't gonna do it. Well, I used to bite my nails a lot ever since I was young, and I don't anymore. How did I do it? Well, I substituted biting with having these tools next to me when I would bite my nails the most, which is sitting beside my beautiful wife, sitting watching TV at night. And you're watching and you're not paying attention, and you start gnawing at your body and chewing things apart. Well, now I got these guys sitting right beside me. Pull them out. Nice little file. I don't need those anymore. I mean, I don't need to bite my nails anymore. So making the change requires a little bit of assistance. I looked specifically at what I liked about the Mac and tried to emulate those things on Windows, and then of course got the benefit of many other things. For instance, Mac keyboards are always nice and sleek. And a lot of Windows manufacturers, even my favorite PC manufacturer, HP, they make these giant clunky keyboards. And they do it for a reason. Most of their users actually like these. And that's not a slag against them. They're used to this, they like this. It's got a tactile kind of a travel, and you jigga, and you get that. I find them cumbersome. I came from, more sleek keyboards. So have a look at this. This is an iRox keyboard, and it's very slim. It's exactly, well, it's a total Windows knockoff of the Mac keyboard. And you can get it in white if you want. I like the black. So I bought a couple of these. They're just USB. They're like, I don't know, 39 bucks, iRox, and it works absolutely perfect. That was a huge difference for me because if you're used to using the command key on the Mac with your thumb and your finger, then, well, I'm starting to use my pinky over here with the control key. And there are utilities to switch. I could switch the Alt key to the control key if I wanted to. But in making this switch, I wanted to learn and stick with what was stock inside the operating system and not run a lot of these extra things for the keyboard. So making a change like that made all the difference. And I use that, and it's sleek and it's calm. And actually, when I am switching, because I normally have 4 computers hooked up, I still have my MacBook Pro when I need to run something on the Mac and do something. Like my Blackmagic camera that only uses a Mac to format the disk. Thank you, Blackmagic. Can we switch that? So when I flip to that, I actually use the same keyboard. And the Windows key becomes the command key on the Mac, so I can flip between those two and use it. So a year later, am I happy? Absolutely. One of the things I don't miss, it's the damn spinning beach ball. I spend an enormous amount of time going and visiting customers, and I watch them use their software, and one of the first things I experience, and this is at high-end sites, big Hollywood studios, the first thing I'm looking at is, there's that spinning beach ball. And it just drives me crazy. Doesn't mean that I don't have to wait on Windows. It's just a much more rock solid solution and way faster. And this is after over a year of just exclusively using Windows. So I'm very happy. I am now a much more adaptable person throughout my life, not just in making this switch. I'm more open and easy to change, and I'm a very happy Windows user here at Mac Refugee.